For my part, I learned to better accept the unknown. We didn't know what the salt piles meant, so we told the cleaning lady not to touch it. I liked how all of us had to pull off our creativity and become inventive. This is the director.
Thank you very much. So, anything you want to know about that project? Yes?
What's the significance of the palm leaf and the salt? What does it mean?
The meaning of the palm leaf and the salt. I left it open, and it was about spreading rumors. So there were rumors going around because, as you know, in Japan, salt has meaning of purification. It's the same in Italy, Catholicism. At the end of the project, there was an exhibition because it was a project of visual artists. So this project ended in an exhibition where I had a table with 50 kilograms of salt, Sardinian salt, placed on top of lots of palm leaves for people to take home in little bags and try it themselves. And I created a fairy tale about this girl who lived in that town where nobody would speak to each other anymore. And then that girl was very sad. People would not sing any songs or tell any stories anymore. And so that girl met, that's all made up, I'm not a fairy tale, I'm not really a writer, but I made this up. And then that girl meets that very smart sheep that tells her, hey, if you use salt, people find the words again. And if you use a palm leaf, people will connect to each other. Try it out. And she did, and then it worked. So anyway, so that was kind of this little, how I closed this project. On the other hand, in that exhibition also, I was hanging up all these diary entries and asked people to put comments on it. Like, because many people saw me going around that small town for a month, every day at the same time, at the same places. So some people noticed that something strange is going on, and I asked people to fill in the blanks or the gaps, and they did. They started continuing and writing their stories in that exhibition. And there was a magazine published, a kind of an art catalog where this project got an entry, where I was writing a statement, but there's nothing really written down, nothing extensive. It's just part of a larger catalog, art catalog.
And the other question is, this is purely your own original idea, or had you heard something similar to this before you did this?
This is my own idea.
Yes.
Yes. Yes, Charles.
You said that every time you went out, before you went out, you would erase your mind and go out as fresh as you could. What did you do? How did you do that? Or what did you achieve? How did you achieve that?
Good question. How can I erase my mind every day? How can I start fresh? Good question. In a way you can't. I mean, I don't have memory loss, even though I sometimes forget things, of course. I would have a ritual in the morning. I would get up, I would go to this palm tree, collect my palm leaves, and then I would dress up. I had two sets. I had two blazers, identical blazers, two identical shirts, two identical caps, so you know I could clean my dress. And so as I would get dressed, I would just imagine just having arrived to that little town and start over. Also, when I walked, I had a notebook and I tried to be really open for all the impressions that come in, the birds I hear, the sky, so I tried to every day make it a new day, basically.
But when you meet a person for the 5th time, it seems like you almost have to make believe you have never met them before. That would cause a lot of friction between you and the subject.
It's true, but I tell them I don't know about yesterday. They kept telling me about yesterday or last week, and I told them there is no such thing. I'm just here now. It's just now. Colette told me about her birthday. For 2 weeks, she kept mentioning her birthday. That it's coming up next week. I don't know what next week is, so I just tried to explain that I don't have that concept. That I'm just here now. Make them believe. I mean, yeah.
You are an instigator, aren't you?
Yeah. As I say, it was about creating these involuntary relationships. But still, I mean, stay human. I mean, that's why I had also, every tour was different in a way, because I came up with different questions. So they knew that they were challenged in a way, maybe also in a good way. They had to reinvent themselves. Well, I had a common theme for the castle, for example, because the castle was empty. But the castle is named after a Spanish a baron, I believe, who was ruling the southern part of Sardinia. Civiler is his name. And so there was this name, this castle name to that person, but there was no portrait, nothing. So I kept asking, where is the image of this person, of Signor Civiler? And there is none, because everything has disappeared. But then they started to imagine, there were some fresque-like, really vague paintings on one wall, and then they started to accept that, yeah, maybe this is Civiler, who knows, we don't know. So they started to help me make the story, fill in the story. So this was wonderful. Being insistent. Yeah.
Have you or would you repeat this in another place?
I would love to, yes. I would love to repeat it, yes. But I need to find a setting where there's a place that I could go, like an island. I'm thinking of going to an island on a little boat where they do these day tours or something, so that I would be in this island situation and meet the boatman every day, the same boatman. That could be really interesting. But it would be a setting where it should be really affordable, otherwise I get really, if it's expensive fare, then I get really poor. These art residencies don't pay much money. Yes?
Did you have any conversations or interactions with children, or was it only adults? I was wondering if children might respond to your...
Indirectly. Colette has a son, a 5-year-old son. She's a widow. And so her son came into the picture too. Yeah, sometimes he was part of the tour as well. Other than that, no, there were not many children. It's a city where mostly elderly people live. Young people, they usually move away to the big city or go to Roma for employment. Yes.
I'm imagining you recording what they said as you went through this same ritual every day. What were their nonverbal reactions, their body language, their facial expressions?
Well, first of all, in the first week or two, there was like surprise, and I could tell people were like trying to be hospitable because they knew I'm a foreigner, and then they knew, oh, I'm from that art program, so they want to give a good impression. But then I turned into this annoyance, you know, and I could tell that the kiosk lady, she made me wait, and I respected that sometimes. That's why I got later and later, and that's why the castle people got a bit worried when I showed up too late, so, and it took me longer. The tour took longer and longer. The first tour took just maybe an hour, but then the longest tour was like 4 hours.